everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Dawn of the Zeds, 3rd edition, basic game, where we're just about to start turn 4 and yes, the Zeds are beginning to close in. We've had some pretty good rearguard action from the lefties past civil defence unit, but we're going to need a lot more of that if we are going to survive. Just a couple of things. We've had a clarification from Victory Point Games regarding the Farmingdale Furies, which are, if you remember, a heroic civilian unit. They can be ordered round by Sheriff Hunt with his leadership ability. It is allowed, so it was okay to put them up here. I did say that we weren't allowed to do that, but apparently we are. So that's a further clarification that's come through. But they don't take orders from anybody else, only Sheriff Hunt. Deputy Schmidt, they tell him to get stuffed, but Sheriff Hunt, they take notice of Sheriff Hunt. So he can order any civilian unit around. So long as they're within one space of him or on his own space, he can order them about. So that's cool. What else? Oh yes, when I got movement on all the tracks last turn, I did all the inner Z units first and then did all the outer Z units. I should have gone by track, yes. So move the inner unit on a particular track, then move the outer unit or units on a particular track. Just do it one track at a time rather than do all the inner units then all the outer units. So that is what I should have done there. Didn't make any difference as it turned out, but from now on that's the way that I will do it. Okay, so I think that's everything caught up with, so let's get on with the Zeds phase. Right, here we are at the Zeds phase, so let's find out what our event is. Tonight's Laugh and Chuckle event is Mountain Night Assault. Oh, not the mountain track. Oh, we need to get some ammo. So we get movement on the mountain track, and this applies to the Zeds phase. At the beginning of this phase, +1 infection per Z unit on the mountain track. Well, we're not using infection, we can ignore that. Place a new Z unit on the mountain track start space. No! So we're going to get 3 on there now. Oh, and we haven't had a chance to search the mine yet. Right, what have we got? A 4 strength unit. Well, haha, that'll do. A nice weak unit. So there we go, 4 strength. Put that on the mountain track. Coolness. Let's read the rest of the card. What else have we got? We've got one of those co-op Z movements, so we're going to ignore that. Defending units receive no terrain shifts during this phase, so we get no terrain shifts. Oh, that means the lefties past civil defence unit don't get a terrain shift. All they get is the well-armed shift. Ah! And we've got to move the Zeds as well. Oh, right, okay. So let's put that on there. We've got a couple of dice that we're going to need. And let's zoom in and see if the lefties pass defence unit can keep it going. And here they all are. So we move the inner mob first. So they're going to move up to lefties pass, and poor old lefties pass civil defence unit are going to have to try and fight them off again. But this time they do not get the benefit of knowing the terrain. So it's hand-to-hand combat, so we'll use the hand-to-hand matrix. They have got a strength of 9, a combined strength of 9. We've got a strength of 4, so that is ×2 advantage. We do get the well-armed shift, so it goes to Zed's advantage. So we are rolling on here. So we need at least an 8, baby. Come on, let's do it. Oh, that'll do. That 8 for those. Come on. Come on. Oh, a 4. It couldn't last. We'll get rid of those dice. We'll bring 2 more in. We'll bring 2 more in for next time. Those dice have failed me. So what's if this is not looking good for? No, no hits. We take 3 damage. That is bad. So we need to swap these guys over. Whoop. So not only do we swap them over, they take a damage and they have to retreat. So we've got that. We've got the right shift for... I think they're still well armed. I don't think they lose that. But they do get a damage. That 1 more damage and they are gone. So under sustained attack, they've not been able to do it. So these guys have took over here. And next up we have the movement for this brand new Z unit that got on the start of the mountain track. So that moves there. That's bad. That is bad. That is the end of the Z phase, I believe. It is indeed, and that was a bad phase. So now we move on to the action phase. So let's move the clapperboard up 1. Here we are, start the action phase. We can get rid of that now. And move the clapperboard up 1. Right, so what are we going to do? We're going to spend an event action, is what we're going to do. And it's Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson's going to spend that event action. And what he's going to do is he is going to shoot. So let's get up there. Let's get up to the Lucky Strike Mine. And here we are at the Lucky Strike Mine. So he's going to shoot. So he's going to use this ammunition. That is going to go down to 4 ammo. And let's have a look at his card. Mr. Johnson. So, heavy weapons, this is what we're interested in. His gunfire attacks receive a right shift bonus of 2. And we're going to need it, baby. We are going to need it. He's going to shoot at these guys. He's got a strength of 3, so essentially he's got a strength of 5. Let's have a look at the gunfire attack table. So he's rolling on this. And we need high, baby. We need high. Come on, Mr. Johnson. Yes! An 11. Keep these dice. Those can stay. So we got the 11. And let's have a look at the gunfire attack. 5, 3. He gets 3 damage. Brilliant. That 3 damage he can allocate how he wants. So he's going to allocate a single damage to these guys. Oh, I'll tell you what. These guys still have 2. They were still at death's door, these ones. They didn't suddenly regenerate or anything. What I did was I used the ×2 for this unit, didn't I? And I used it on there to give them the extra 1 damage they needed. So they were on ×2. So they're going to get an extra damage. So we get rid of these guys. They can go back into the bag. And we've got two more damage to allocate, so we will shove that across there. So he is really helping us out now, so that's brilliant news. What else? Well, we're going to scavenge as well. So he's going to use the player action. So Mr. Johnson is going to use and spend the player action, and he's going to try and find, scavenge some ammunition, because we're down to 4 now. So scavenger rolls 2 dice when conducting a forage action. We are at the Lucky Strike Mine. So if we look at our little forage table, a 4, 5 or 6 will get us ammo because we're at the mine. So let's roll these. That'd be a good roll. Mr. Johnson is obviously not wearing his specs. So those dice have failed me. They can go into the fail pile. We'll chuck 2 more in. Right. He didn't find anything. What a waste of... That was a bad miss by him. That was a bad miss. So he hasn't found anything. Oh, appalling. But he'll have to have another go next turn. We do need some more ammunition. So, we just don't have enough actions. And I suppose that is the whole idea of the game. Right. So, unfortunately, in one way we did pretty well, in another way we didn't. I hate it, spending an action and getting nothing for it. Right, so that is it for Mr. Johnson. So he did okay, but obviously the man's like Mr. Magoo. He's like me, he can't see anything. And he was not able to find that ammunition. Right, who is going to go next then? So, well, Captain Piazza can't go anywhere because Mr. Johnson's used up all the available actions. The event action and the player action, so she's stuck in town centre. So it looks like Sheriff Hunt. So let's get down to Beauville. And here we are in Beauville. Right, so what's he going to do? Well, he's going to use his leadership ability. So we're going to spend that. And he's going to do exactly the same as last turn. He's going to tell these guys here to shoot at these guys here. Now, they've got 3. They do... Oh, that's another thing. You don't get your terrain shift unless you're doing hand-to-hand combat. So that's why I don't use it for gunfire. Yeah, it's got to be for hand-to-hand combat, and I believe you've got to be defending as well to get it. So that's why they don't get a terrain shift. Not that you get a terrain shift anyway, do you? No, we don't get any terrain shifts in this phase anyway, so we may as well let's use some gunfire from these guys. So they've got a strength of 3. So we're using this column. So again, we need to get above a 5, really. Significantly above a 5 would help. A 6. Which is just 1. So we only get 1 off that one, unfortunately. Again, dice have failed me. Let's get some new ones in. That's 1 hit. And we lose 1 ammo. So we're down to 3 ammo now. Oh, Mr. Johnson! Fancy not getting that ammo! Right, so that is it for Sheriff Hunt. Let's get over to Deputy Schmidt. Looks like he's going to have to do a bit of foraging and hope we get a 6. Here we are with Deputy Johnson. So let's move this where we can see it. And he's going to forage, so he only gets 1 die, unfortunately. So we need a 6, basically. And he's using, using his initiative token. He's spending that. Oh, 4. So, no, unfortunately, we were not able to do it. So, come on. I like them to show high numbers. It gives me confidence. Obviously, we're not we're not actually rolling them at the moment. It's just the new dice that I've put in. Right. So he got a 4. He didn't find anything. So we've spent yet another action where we didn't get rock all for it. But I really do want to find some ammo. I think our best plan is to sort of pick some of these guys off without hand-to-hand combat, because we saw how hand-to-hand combat went this turn. Okay, right, so that is it for Deputy Schmidt, and that is it for the action phase, because we've got no actions left. Righto, so let's move on to the housekeeping phase. And here we are at the housekeeping phase, just the usual. Let's flip these back over. And we'll leave this player action off to the side. We will... we shall assign that next turn when we see what the event brings us which will be nothing good, I bet. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. That was grim. It's pretty good in parts. We did manage to get rid of a Z unit, and we put a bit of a hurting on another Z unit at Lefty's Pass. But the civilian unit at Lefty's Pass, well, it's got one more hit and it's out of there, baby. So they are in a bad way. Mr. Johnson was alright, apart from the fact he just couldn't find any ammunition. An awful roll has let us down. Captain Piazza couldn't do anything. We had no spare actions for her. That's another problem. We're not getting enough actions. So essentially, out of our 4 heroes, you're going to get at least one who can't do anything. So, well, I suppose you could assign one an event action and could assign another the player action. But like I said, we needed the ammunition, so I gave Mordecai a chance, and he let us down. So Captain Piazza hasn't done anything. Sheriff Hunt is marshalling the Beauville Irregulars. They managed to get a hit onto the Z unit at Farmingdale University. And Deputy Schmidt is desperately going through the security office at the nuclear plant trying to find ammo. But all he found was that single box of cartridges. He's not been able to locate any more. So, but how many cards are we in? 4. 1, 2, 3. Of course we're at 4. We're on turn 4. Idiots. And we've got 16 to go. So we're a quarter of the way there, essentially. And it's looking grim. It is looking grim. I think for next turn, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to leave the mountain track how it is. We've had an all Zeds movement and we've had a mountain movement. I'm going to gamble we're not going to get any more mountain movement for a bit. So I'm going to leave that track. I think we will get movement on another track. Which one it'll be, I do not know, but I think the one that's looking the worst at the moment is the forest track. Let's be honest. It's got what? 30. It's got 18 strength worth of zombies on it. We've only got a civilian unit at St. Thomas and the Furies. So I think we may send Captain Pezo up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can get to St. Thomas. I think she can use 2 actions to use 1 action to get to St. Thomas and another action to start some shooting, because I think otherwise that Civ unit is not going to be able to hold them back long enough. It's not particularly to keep the Civ unit alive either. It's just so we don't get overrun too quickly. So I think we'll send her up there. Sheriff, he can stay where he is. Hopefully the civilian unit can shoot a bit better, or he'll shoot himself. Oh no, he can't use his shoot himself. No, not shoot himself. Oh no, he can't shoot himself because his leadership ability doesn't work on himself, obviously. So yeah, he's just going to have to keep that 3 strength Civ unit shooting, and hope they don't move the Zeds at Farmingdale University. Yeah, and the highway track's a bit of a bother as well, to be honest. Yeah, we're in. Yeah, it's grim. I think we're going to have to start hand-to-hand combats and stuff. And I hope that. I mean, I rolled okay this turn, but that was the bad roll. It'd have been wholly different if he'd found some ammunition. Then I'd be a lot more confident, but we're down to 3 now. And, you know, I might even have to... I'm going to have to save, yeah. I really do think I'm going to have to save... Oh no, we'll send Captain Piazza up there and she'll shoot. The turn after, though, I'm afraid Mordecai Johnson is going to have to put his glasses on and desperately try and find some ammunition at the Lucky Strike mine. Otherwise, I think we'll be in big trouble. Once we get down to just hand-to-hand combat only, ugh, it's grim. Right, so that is it for turn 4. I hope it was enjoyable, but it looks like Though we're fighting valiantly, it looks like the inexorable, like, Z tide is beginning to close in, unfortunately. Right, ho. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the subscriptions, and for all the views, and for all the comments, and for all the corrections and tactical tips and everything. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody who's gone across to Board Game Links to upvote the site. Once again, that is brilliant. And I hope that you will join me for turn 5 of Dawn of the Zeds basic game. But until next time, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.